Continue now our team coverage with Fox 8's Stacey Frey. She, by the way, is the only local television reporter at the scene.
Stacey, you've talked with witnesses there who have some incredible firsthand accounts of exactly what happened.
Oh, absolutely they do. From the guy who walked out of his house just as the plane dove into the ground to one of the first firefighters on the scene. The stories that we have heard today are chilling and staggeringly compelling. Living 5 miles from the Buffalo Niagara International Airport, it isn't unusual for people in this Clarence Center neighborhood to hear planes flying overhead.
They're relatively low when they're at this point, and this one was going in the wrong direction, and it was on a bad path.
Tony Tatro was on his way home from the gym around 10:20 when he saw it.
The nose was pointed down, left wing was a little bit lower than the right, and it was evident that it was going to hit the ground. It was only 75 feet at most above me. At that point, I had to look underneath my rearview mirror in order to see it. It was that low.
Mary Jane and David LUCE were sitting in their home about 300 feet away when they heard the sudden roar of the engines.
All of a sudden it stopped, and we knew that was a bad sign. Yeah. And then a few seconds of silence, and then a big explosion. And it rocked our house.
Stephen Wallace, who often shoots photos for local fire departments, was one of the first to get up close to the crash scene.
And then as I walked down the road, people were passing me trying to get away from the scene, and I couldn't tell if they were men, women, adults, children. The smoke was that thick.
He took these pictures of the house instantly turned into a burning crater in the earth.
There's a tail section that goes up above a garage and above a pine tree that got snapped off. And then as you move forward from that tail section, there's nothing in the middle where people should have been.
Within minutes, there were 100 firefighters swarming the scene. The flames were shooting 30, 40 feet in the air.
It was a complete ball fire, 30, 40 feet in the air. It hit a house, and it no longer looked like a house. It was just a huge ball fire. The only thing you could make out was the tail section of the plane.
I mean, when you come upon that, obviously you're thinking you got to go to work right away.
Yeah.
But the emotion must hit you as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, there's people in that plane, and you want to put the fire out, but it was so intense. You knew that there was going to be no survivors from it at all.
And to think that a woman and her 22-year-old daughter were able to walk out of that house with only minor injuries is still, even though we know it's true, so tough to comprehend.
Boy, it definitely is, Stacey. Stacey Frey live there for us tonight. Thank you, Stacey.
What happened here?
Now, as soon as word of the crash got out, we sent crews there immediately. Let's check in with Stacey Frey. Used to work in Buffalo. Stacey, I used to live there. When I grew up, I haven't been there in a long time. Clarence was out in the middle of nowhere. Is that a place that's really been growing?
Well, definitely has been growing very much. And as you've seen in the pictures that we've been showing, especially from Google Earth, you can see how close these homes are to one another. So it makes it all that much more incredible that this plane slammed into only one. A firefighter who was on the scene almost immediately after this happened. The fire hall, the volunteer fire department, only 4 doors down from this house. He tells me that incredibly, the plane didn't even take out the shed in the backyard, did not knock down the power lines in the front yard. Had this plane taken any other angle, had it slid sideways, there's no telling how much destruction it might have caused in this neighborhood. Unbelievable. As you guys mentioned, those black boxes were sent off to Washington, D.C. They were found around 11 o'clock this morning. They are contained in the tail of the plane, the only piece that survived that fiery wreck, that crater that now exists in the earth. And they have revealed that the pilot and the co-pilot were discussing the ice buildup on the wings and the windshield. NTSB not prepared to say at this point that that is the cause. It's too hot for them to even walk onto that scene at this point.
Now, Stacey, you're there. We're seeing the pictures on television and on the website, but what does the scene look like there? Because you've gotten a lot closer to it than we can get through our TV screens.
Well, I have to tell you, they're not letting us anywhere near it. We are about a mile away. As a matter of fact, we tried to go that way, and we got turned around almost immediately. They are letting people who only live in the immediate area, who have all kinds of ID to get in there, who first check in at the town hall, they're the ones who are allowed to go. But I can tell you, I've seen some pictures from people in the neighborhood who were allowed to go back there, and what's left is just a pile of unimaginable metal and wood, what was a home, and again, right next to it, 2 others that seemed perfectly fine.
And we only have about 20 seconds, but it will be tomorrow, right before they can get in and start retrieving belongings and things like that from the wreckage.
It will be noon tomorrow. Those fires, they were trying to stamp them out until almost noon today, at least. There was a gas leak they were concerned about as well, so still a danger in that area.
Thank you, Stacey, very much. You know, hearing from people